anybody who thinks that artists who are professional artists don't go through it, you're crazy. We all go through it. The I come in the house one day and tell my husband, "Oh, I'm terrible. I don't know what I'm doing. Nothing is sold in ages. This is awful. I should just go get a job at Walmart, whatever." I'm never going to go get a job at Walmart, just so you know. But then, I'll get a phone call from a collector, or somebody will say something online about how much they love this piece. And that will inspire me to step up and paint even more and harder. And then I'm up on the top of the roller coaster, and I joked about this with my husband, and he said, as long as I get to be the one in the seat next to you with my arms up going, it's the sweetest thing he could possibly say, because I feel like I'm manic sometimes, and I'm just all over the place. But it's really hard for me personally to keep painting and stocking up art in the studio if it's not selling. I know this about myself, that I am motivated by sales quite a bit. And so if my sales go down, it is a decision to step up to the easel. Now, if my sales are going great, I can't paint fast enough. You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh yeah, I got to replace that, whatever. But it's something in myself that I have had to learn how to deal with. That I am in the business of art, and I know it, and I can't necessarily set that aside. And other people may be able to do that. I love art and I love to paint, but I am motivated by sales. So that affects my roller coaster ride. So the biggest challenge is when sales drop, like in an election year, or for whatever reason. Sometimes it's even seasonal. It's the summer. One of my galleries is in Charleston. Reinhardt Fine Art is up there, and they have been my best gallery to date. I've actually been in 10 or 15 different galleries, and some didn't make it, and some I changed enough that I didn't fit there anymore. So I pulled my work and went elsewhere. And Reinhardt has been steady and a really good one for me, because they're willing to roll with my not my whims, but they're willing to let me kind of explore subject matter, which I think is having a gallery do that is really positive experience. I can't express that. And I have another one that is 33 Contemporary. I'm with the Poets and Artists group, 33 PA, and they're great because they encourage artists to be expressive and really help with the marketing side of things. So those are my two main galleries right now that I'm working with. But I think that the gallery relationship is really important. And I know that this was one of the questions on your list, is that how am I primarily selling my work? And that's how. I am fairly remote. I don't get a lot of people visiting my studio for open studio visits. And I've kind of thought about ways that I can get people out here. But really, the galleries have been my best sales outlet, because I can get the prices that I'm asking. People don't question when they go into a gallery. They are expecting to pay that amount. I've sold a few pieces on Instagram, Facebook, various social media outlets, but generally that's not my number one source, because I am priced a little higher than your average artist on Instagram. And there are a ton of artists out there. And I think that there's a buyer for every artist. It just depends on what you're priced at. So if you aren't necessarily as proficient or prolific, you can probably still find somebody to buy your work. You just need to price it accordingly. Yes. I just think that the galleries work the best for me. Now, as far as students go, my Instagram and Facebook and Kaleido is another one that I use. Threads I've recently started using, which, I'm on the fence about all of these, but I really believe in having a wide cast net. So you can't swing a dead cat, as my husband always says, without hitting me. I mean, if you Google me, I show up for the first like 5 pages worth of returns, and it's because I have my work listed all over the place. And so, yeah, I mean, I think my name is getting pretty well known, and I'm just trying to be in front of as many people as possible. I used to do a lot of shows. I was once a member of the Oil Painters American Impressionist Society, the Women Artists of the West, a lot of different organizations. Now I'm kind of funneling it down to just one or two. The American Women Artists I like a lot because of their mission. And I think I'm still a member of the American Impressionist Society. I'm not sure. But I don't necessarily compete a lot because I don't think it really supports my goals in my business to be competing. That is putting yourself in the room with a whole lot of other artists, whereas I want to put myself in front of a collector being the only artist. And so I reach out directly to collectors or through the gallery, and that seems to work a lot better for me. And I also don't think you should compete with your art, but that's a whole other thing, I mean, because we're all doing something completely different, and it's arbitrary on any given day that a judge is going to think one person's thing is better than another person's thing. And I also don't really fit into the categories of a lot of these organizations because I am experimental in some of my techniques. So it's not the norm, and so I never expect to win. So I'm just not going to waste my money on it. There are plenty of people, organizations out there that are trying to get money from artists, and I don't fault those organizations, but there are plenty of coaches and all of these other things that will be happy to take money from an artist, and I just am not willing to spread myself that thin.